Hey, we want to welcome everyone here to Madison Square Garden. After doing this boxing business for over 30 years, this is my favorite arena in the world to promote. This is where I started managing Kevin Kelly, the Flushing Flash from Flushing, Queens, New York, the very first fighter I ever worked with. And now, I don't know how many years later, over 30 years later, coming back here, St. Patrick's Day weekend, promoting such a great show like this, the Irish standout boxing show, the biggest Irish boxing show in Madison Square Garden history, with 7 Irish boxers on it. So we're really excited about this show. We got some great matchups, very competitive fights, and we're excited to be broadcast live around the world exclusively on UFC Fight Pass. I want to thank Dana White for his support, for putting our shows on UFC Fight Pass, and everything he's done in terms of
360 Callum. This tequila was inspired. There was 50 Irishmen and 6 Mexican children. They were killed in Mexico in 1847, defending the Mexican flag. They never surrendered it, and they never surrendered their faith. There's a whole story behind it, but that's why this tequila was made. So, thank you very much.
Legendary fighter from Ireland who just had a win in the ring. I want to bring up Michael Callum.
Cheers, Tom. Thanks for springing this on me last minute, but it's all good. I'm just here to say to the lads, make sure you go and enjoy this. You know, I've done a good few St. Patrick's Days here at the Garden. It really is the mecca of boxing, and you gotta enjoy every moment because it doesn't last too long. But this is going to be the best atmosphere you'll probably ever experience in your career, and anywhere else you fight in the world. MSG, the Garden, St. Paddy's Day weekend is always the best. So go out there, enjoy yourself, and live in the moment, because as I says, it does not last too long. Just take it all in, enjoy it, then put performances on, and I wish you all the best.
The theater at MSG, he had, if people remember, he had Conor McGregor walking him into the ring. So that's Irish royalty right there. So we appreciate having Michael here.
The Sheik, the Turk, for that tournament they're putting on, I am guaranteed a world championship title fight next year, and that's what I want, and that's what I deserve. I've been boxing in here for so long. I'm going to be 29-1 with 24 fucking knockouts. Nobody else in the sport has that. I don't have a promoter, I have a manager, Elvis Grant, and we have been going out there trying to find fights, putting on a show, and this is what we do. And I'm here putting on tomorrow, on Sunday night, for you, for the crowd, for the fucking bloody Irish.
For this fight, huge opportunity, also fighting at Madison Square Garden to make a big impact on the show. From Warren Heights, Ohio, I want to bring up DeJuan Calloway.
How y'all doing? Actually, I'm from Cleveland, Ohio, and my name's DeJuan Calloway. I'm also 3% Irish, though. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so we're here to make a statement. Here, I'm just happy to be here, and we're gonna give a good show.
Cheers, folks. I don't know how I'm going to follow up Cletus there, to be completely honest, because that was a good performance. But Dukes, Bwatlan Buigas Gowl, I got in a ton shot in Madison Square Garden. Bwatlan Buigas Gowl, I got in a tag faking Sawalya, a tag Tagyog Sawalya, I was a big faking there and down him. So, got a meal and malt with got in on shot, I was got in there. I'd like to thank everybody that's after coming out here today. Thank everybody that's supporting from our home. I'd like to thank Tom. I'd like to thank 360 Promotions, and I'm really excited.
It was an 8-round fight in Dublin. This is going to be a 10-round rematch here at Madison Square Garden. I want to bring up, from County Kerry, Kevin Cronin.
Cheers, lads. Nice to be here. Thanks, Tom and all the 360 team. They've been great, been brilliant all week. And UFC Fight Pass, and obviously Dana White, the lads as well, for streaming it for the world to see. Yeah, look, the top is done now. Sunday night we're going
Promoted by Michael Callum. And we have Emmett Brennan here. He's Emmett actually is from Dublin, managed by Darren Barker, also a former world champion. So we have two great world champions behind both of these fighters. Like I said, it was a fight of the night in Dublin, just non-stop action, back and forth, very close fight. Emmett edged out the decision in the last fight, and I know Kevin is looking for revenge. So Emmett Brennan, an Olympian from Dublin, Ireland. Please come up and say a few words, Emmett.
Yeah, look, big thanks to Tom again. Great opportunity to fight here in Madison Square Garden. It doesn't get much bigger than that.
Had just recently fought for a world title against Lamont Roach. You might recognize his name as the fighter who arguably beat Tank Davis down the street here in Barclays Center. So Fergal put on a valiant performance in a world title fight. Now we're excited to have him as the co-feature on this show. He's backed by Enda and the Keenan from Legends Bar. So really happy to have Fergal. Fergal, why don't you say a few words?
Hi guys, great to be back here. Big shout out to Tom and everyone in 360. They're always a pleasure to work with. Great team. This is our third time working together now. So,
Of the show, I definitely want to thank the folks at Madison Square Garden for making this possible. Not only is it my favorite arena to promote shows at, but it's the favorite team that I have to work with. Joel Fisher, who's been very supportive of our events, Larry Torres, Joanne, and Sal Federico all provide tremendous support. They have a big staff behind them to run a building like this, an operation like this. They have the Big East tournament with so many great college basketball games going on upstairs, while we're having this amazing event here downstairs. So with that, Sal and team want to thank everyone from MSG. The true definition of a gentleman. Since we announced this fight in January, we were here in pretty chilly weather in New York. We did the kickoff media lunch at Legends right down the street here. Just look for the Empire State Building. You can't miss Legends, right across the street on 33rd Street. But Dean Sutherland has been a gentleman ever since we made the fight. There was no hesitation from his side. Looking forward to fight Callum Walsh, fighting for the WBC Continental Americas Championship. As I mentioned, when Dean came in and his trainer Joe Ham, I want to acknowledge Joe and his promoter Sam Kinnock, who were in Scotland. Been 100% professional. Everything that we've asked him to do on the promotion side, all the media obligations. A lot of fighters, aren't so willing to do that, and Dean has really personified professionalism on that. So with that, I want to bring up Dean Sutherland, 19-1 from Aberdeen, Scotland.
Afternoon, everybody. Thank you all for coming out. It's surreal to be here. Main event, Madison Square Garden. It's what your dreams are when you get involved in the sport. I just want to say, I did check up, but I'm 100% Scottish people, so don't worry about that. But I just want to say thank you all for coming out. I've got a huge support coming out from Scotland. I think the Scots and the Irish are pretty similar. We just want to see a good quality showdown, and that's exactly what you're going to get on Sunday night. Me and Callum are going to leave it all in the ring, and may the best man win. Thank you.
I would agree with that. The Scots and the Irish definitely have the fighting spirit, and these two are going to put on a great show in the ring. We kicked off fight week with going to WWE here at Madison Square Garden. What a great show they put on. Nick Khan, very supportive of what we do. I go way back with Nick Khan since he was involved with Manny Pacquiao. I know he's got a great relationship with Freddie Roach and Marie over at the Wild Card Gym. I want to acknowledge Freddie, Hall of Fame trainer, who's here in the audience. Freddie's been through a tremendous training camp to get Callum prepared for this. I also want to acknowledge the supervisor for the WBC. As I mentioned, this will be Callum's defense of his WBC Continental Americas title. Jill Diamond, who's local here in New York as well. I'm going to bring up a young gentleman, the first Irish fighter that I ever worked with. I worked with fighters from all over the world, but never an Irish fighter. So it was as soon as Freddie called me and said he's got a young Irish lad in his gym, one of the hardest punching fighters that he's ever held the mitts for, junior middleweight. Callum has an interesting story how he got, I'll say it briefly, for how he hooked up with Freddie Roach, because not everyone that walks into Wildcard Gym can just walk in and say, okay, I want to have Freddie train me. After having, I believe it's 42 world champions, Freddie is probably one of the most recognizable trainers in boxing history. Callum walked in, Freddie said it's sparring day. If you want to train, he actually came to train. Freddie said, if you want to train, you got to spar. Callum sparred, and then with professionals, and Callum was still an amateur. He wasn't even planning on turning pro. And then, so Freddie said, okay, kid, you can come back the next day. And ever since then, he's been training with Freddie Roach. As I mentioned, once we got Freddie's blessing on Callum's talents, his punching power, and his amateur accomplishments, it didn't take long to sign a contract with Callum. When I brought Callum to meet Dana White in Las Vegas, that's when Dana gave us a green light for the UFC Fight Pass dates, and he's headlined every UFC Fight Pass show that he's been on. So with that, I want to bring up from Cork, Ireland, who also has a lot of family and friends with him, King Callum Walsh.
My name is Callum Walsh, and I'm Irish. This is like an AA meeting for fellas addicted to being Irish. But I just want to thank everybody for being here. You know, I'm looking forward to headlining this show. I feel like this is a real Irish card with real Irish fighters. You know, I mean, we've real fighters on this card, and this rematch, you know, people making their pro debut is a great opportunity. You know, I feel like this is really uniting the Irish country. You know, whether you're from Cork or you're not from Cork, you know what I mean? We put everybody on, you know. So yeah, I just want to thank everybody. You know, me and Dean, we're going to put on a good show. Dean's coming ready for this fight, and I'm looking forward to it. So thanks very much.